Greetings all, Vanna here for Taurus's weekend message. Taurus, thank you for your patience with me. I needed to have some time for myself. We have the sun in reverse. And what I feel with this is that there is a sense of fear or hesitancy on your part, as well as mine. I am also a Taurus sun and have several in my planetary body. The dream is not dead. The Sun card represents that new beginning, that spark of life that you have, especially when you are a child. When someone asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? I really wish that they would ask you, what do you want to become? Or like, who do you want to become? Because that puts a lot more perspective and options on it. But there's also this sense of wonder. And with wonder comes disappointment sometimes. And I don't want to let that disappointment put out that fire of your sun, because it deserves to burn brightly and it needs to burn brightly. There is something beautiful coming from what it is you have already put plenty of work into. People that I know, you will always hear it, and you have heard it before, so there might be the annoyance to it, but it is always darkest before the dawn. Because Spirit needs to make sure that you will continue to carry that motivation, that perseverance. They will test you to your wit's end to make sure that you will have the fortitude to fulfill what it is you have asked for. And so there is the patience, because you asked for this metamorphosis. You initiated this change, and now you have to go through that upheaval of everything, and that does lay in doubt and fear, especially when you have people around you that are just like, why are you doing that? That's not normal. That's not how we do it. Like, I have heard that so many times about my own business, is that that's not how it's done, Vanna. That's not how you have a career. That's not how you have a happy life. You have to go to work, go to jobs, go to college, and do all that. And I tried all of it. It did not make me happy. This here does. And so there is that gravity of, it is on me to make this happen, and I don't want that to turn into fear that stagnates you. And I'm speaking from my own experience here, my love, so I know how heavy that feels. Spirit, what can we give my fellow Taurians to fan that fire? Ooh, 8 of Crystals. You have done a lot of the work for it, and have built solid foundations and supports for your structure. If 4 walls build a home, 8 walls create a palace. And that is what you are creating for yourself. Something that is truly beautiful, wondrous, and distinctly yours. There will be nothing like this anywhere else. And I love that so much, because anyone who has had more than a 5-minute conversation with me knows that I thrive on authenticity. But authenticity comes at a heavy price of self-doubt when we have to constantly explain ourselves to other people. And Aaron consciously has been saying it so much in the Schumann resonance recently, that when you have to explain yourself to people to try to make them agree with your perspective, you are planting in your own doubts and your own fears in what you believe. And that will waver your strength. That will waver the stability of what it is you are manifesting. And Spirit does not want to manifest your worst dreams, but they take what you give them. There needs to be a little more conscious thinking and conscious thought. And I also understand that that is difficult, because that becomes a learned behavior, to be actively aware of your thoughts when you are in emotions, about catching yourself and saying, I don't need to be thinking like that. It is hard. I still catch myself dwelling and going on a spiraling roller coaster of negativity sometimes, but I do my best to catch myself, because I know that is not where my energy needs to be. Woodland Wardens, spirits of the forest, please give us guidance. The deer and the oat, healing. Absolutely. There is that healing, because going back to this inner child that wanted this dream, What made them stop believing in it? What made them stop putting in that power and made them think that that was not a throne that they could claim? Give them all of that love and support that you have been working very hard to build for yourself in this lifetime now, Taurus. Because going back and healing those wounds, it is not trapping yourself in the past, as some people might say. It is if you just repeatedly think on those thoughts and don't do anything about them, if you just dwell and wallow in it. But Taurus, you are very active with your energy when you know how to use it, when you know how to work it. You can see that 5-year-old version of yourself crying on the stoop of their house and give them the hug that they needed when no one else saw them, because you see them. And this will help you learn to love yourself in a way that you have never had before, because your love has been conditional, coming from other people, and you have accepted a love less than what you deserve because it was something. And you think sometimes something is better than nothing. And I am speaking again from my own experience, and that is not always the case. Because when you accept anything, you fall for everything. Every lie, every manipulation you will just accept. And that is not what you deserve, my love. Butterfly and snowdrop. Have hope. Have faith. And have an understanding that you deserve something more than transactional, conditional, and abusive love. You have porcupine and anemone. Boundaries. Absolutely. Boundaries have to be respected, and if someone starts to cross those boundaries, you make it very clear that that is not something that they will do in your circle. If they continue to do it, they need to be booted from your circle, and I do not care if it is family. Toxic is toxic. Remove the ego from the situation. Look at it. If you saw that situation happening in someone else's life, would you tell that person to continue to be in that home? No. Because it is not okay for anyone to be in relationships of any kind with narcissists or egotistical, angry, abusive people, because they will always do the hurting. They will always do the abusing, and no one deserves that. You have the elk and ash. Strength. You have a truly incredible strength that people like the elk underestimate. People underestimate the elk because they see it in movies and TVs. They don't understand the massive nature of this creature. It can stand almost 12 feet tall in some breeds and has the ability to break ribs and trees with its kicks and antlers. It is severely underestimated for its strength. You as well, Taurus, have underestimated your own strength because you have accepted this less than nature that people have put upon you. Nourish a new idea that you are not just strong, but kind, compassionate, and patient. Because having strength is one thing, but it must be tempered by a care for others. And if it is not, I have to say it because it is coming to mind. If strength is not tempered by care and compassion, it becomes the fuel for the anger that you have worked so very hard to escape. You do not want to become the next initiation of trauma. That is another thing that you are trying to heal from, is to prevent that from happening again. Have a beautiful day, my love.